We start this Wednesday in the capital of China, and as winter arrives in Beijing, the heating is being switched on, and so is the clouds of smog are also arriving. This week, the air pollution index has on some days been 10 times higher than the World Health Organization's recommendations. But in the face of rising public anger and a drop in the number of tourists visiting the Chinese capital, the government is determined to act. Billions of dollars will be spent cutting pollution levels by 2017. The challenge is huge, but the Chinese authorities insist that they might just succeed. Shannon Van Sad.
The old chimneys of Beijing are not smoking anymore. The new ones are still under construction, but they're already the pride of the government. On Sunday, the Beijing authorities held a very formal launch for their newest power plant in the west of the city.
So now you're in the power station, which is fired by natural gas. We're right in the heart of its mechanism. This is the machine that the steam comes out of.
Natural gas is the only fuel used to produce electricity here. The aim is to stop using coal, which has been burned in this plant's furnaces for decades.
This gas-fired power system will enable us to save nearly 3 million tons of coal every year.
Beijing has announced a massive plan to break its dependence on coal, which produces most of its electricity and is suffocating its inhabitants. The city's 4 power stations are due to be phased out by 2017 and replaced by natural gas. That's also the deadline for cutting the density of fine particles, the most hazardous to health. On days when Beijing is shrouded in smog, they reach shocking levels.
We've looked at what has been done in other countries. A city like Beijing would normally cut its fine particle emissions by 2 to 3% a year, but we are planning to lower them by 25% by 2017.
We welcome journalists to scrutinize us and give us their suggestions.
Refineries, steelworks and cement works will also be targeted. In total, 1,200 polluting factories are due to close soon. Car pollution is also in the authorities' sights. Beijing is targeting polluting vehicles and the traffic jams which paralyze its arteries. Though it won't be easy in a country where car sales soared by 20% last year.
Our aim is that by the end of 2017, there will be no more than 6 million cars on the Beijing streets. Today, there are exactly 5.38 million.
But the most controversial measure is an imminent ban on outdoor barbecuing, very popular in Beijing's night markets, but also blamed for causing pollution. But it's a ban which many people find hard to understand.
I don't think it's a good thing. Ordinary people need to make a living as well, don't they?
Aren't car exhaust fumes pollution? Isn't the cooking smoke from restaurants pollution? If they're saying that only barbecue smoke is pollution, then they can't be right. I don't agree.
The mood of most Beijing citizens is one of resignation, particularly since the city is not fully master of its own destiny. Much of its pollution comes from neighboring provinces, China's coal heartland, where coal-fired power plants are far from ready to stop production.
And that wraps up this edition of Asia Live. You're watching Fast Find Cats live from Paris this Wednesday morning. Stuart Novell will be back after the break with more news and headlines.